Hello everyone and welcome back to another brand new video. Today we're going to be going over the most recent episode of Pokemon Horizons, and today's episode continues right from where we left off last time with Dot and Penny battling. So in this battle, Dot uses Quaxwell and Tinkaton, of course, while Penny uses her Sylveon and Flareon. And right off the bat, Dot struggles because Quaxwell becomes infatuated by Sylveon's cute charm ability after landing a hit on her. And I really like the way infatuation is portrayed here. It isn't just that Quaxwell is blindly in love like has been portrayed in the past. This time Quaxwell, he looks like he's perfectly normal. He's straightening his hair and trying to doll himself up to look nice for Sylveon. He's not just blindly standing there with hearts in his eyes. So it is portrayed really nicely. He doesn't look like anything's wrong with him, but they do soon realize it because when Dot commands him to go attack, he does not attack Sylveon when she gets in front of Flareon to protect her. And so ultimately, Dot has to use Tinkaton's hammer to snap Quaxwell out of infatuation. And so they get back into the battle, and eventually Dot and Penny both terrestrialize their Pokemon. They terrestrialize Sylveon and Quaxwell, but ultimately it's Flareon who ends up getting the win over Quaxwell, which I found funny. I just naturally assumed that, if anything, Flareon would be taking out Tinkaton because she's weak to fire-type moves, but she takes out Quaxwell with Swift. So Penny does win the battle, though I do wish they had dedicated more time to this battle. It was really short, and since we haven't really seen all too much of Penny, especially since Terrestrial debut, I would have liked to see a bit more time here. Also, since Dot doesn't really get too many major battles, I just thought it would have been nice to see longer battle here. But anyway, moving past that, the rest of the episode focuses on the kids, again, trying to see what's going on with the Lockwium situation. So they go out to this area where they had previously been in Terrestrial debut, and they reunite with this Gimmighoul that previously they had come across that brainwashed Roy into finding a bunch of coins for him, like its species normally does. And this time it does the exact same thing, only instead of it being just Roy, now it's Roy, Dot, and Alt all gathering these coins. Meanwhile, Liko ends up going to this area where she finds this trainer who has lost their Scovillain, and they're looking for it. So Liko tries to help out with that while also trying to figure out the Lockwium situation. Meanwhile, Pogogo winds up running into this Charcadet that it did previously meet when they were there the first time during Terrestrial debut. And it was the Charcadet that rode around on its back, and so it reunites with it here, and there are some Pokemon that it's watching over that are pretty scared, and we end up realizing that it's because of the Scovillain that the trainer lost that is under the control of Lockwium, so it's on a rampage. And ultimately, Liko is trying to battle it to calm things down, but it's really not working out, and in the end, Liko is able to defeat the Scovillain with the help of the wild Charcadet and Masquerada. And so the Scovillain is returned back to normal, and so the trainer reunites with it, and everything is good with that. And then something that surprised me was that Liko wound up catching the Charcadet. The Charcadet was really happy that Liko wound up helping its friends, and so it wanted to go with her, and so she caught it. And then she just reunites with the other three who go back to the ship, and at the end of the episode, we see that the Gimmighoul has stowed away on the ship, so I'm guessing it's going to become one of the new ship Pokemon. So that was pretty much the entire episode, and now I need to explain some thoughts here because I have a lot of thoughts about this episode, and ultimately I really feel like this whole return to Mesagoza trip should have been at least 4 episodes. I think we should have got the last episode where we get Roy battling Nimona, and then we get another episode where we get a full episode dedicated to Dot versus Penny, because again, I just think it needed way more time. Then I think we should have had the second half of this episode split into 2 parts, because I'm going to be honest, guys, Liko catching Charcadet really felt a bit odd to me. I'm just gonna say it, I don't see why Charcadet wanted to go with her. Liko has barely interacted with this Charcadet at all. The first time she went there, it only really interacted with Pogogo, and even the second time, it interacts mainly with Pogogo, but then all of a sudden, magically, it now wants to go with Liko. It saw her help its friend for a few seconds, and then just decided it wants to go with her. I don't know, guys, to me that just felt very weird and rushed. I don't mind Liko catching this Charcadet. My problem is that I feel like it was just way too rushed. I don't see why we couldn't have gotten an episode focusing on the situation with this Scovillain on a rampage, and Liko trying to help out, and Charcadet going around also trying to help, and the two of them bonding. And then we finish off with the second episode where they actually stop Scovillain, save all the other Pokemon, and then Charcadet decides that it wants to go with Liko. The way it happened, I don't know why, it just felt very strange. It felt like Liko has had no interaction with this Pokemon, but it just wants to go with her after bonding with one of her other Pokemon. That to me just felt very odd. Some of you guys may disagree with me. Again, I have no problem with Liko catching a new Pokemon. I welcome most of the characters catching new Pokemon because they really don't have too many. So I would have just liked to see more bonding and development here. It just feels like they wanted to just give Liko this new Pokemon, so they did it. The same way they just gave Roy this Lucario off screen and we know nothing about it yet. They just gave Liko this Charcadet with no bonding, no interaction really at all. So I just thought it was a bit strange, but you guys can let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know what you thought of this entire episode, what you thought of the battle of Dot versus Penny. What do you think of Liko catching Charcadet? Do you think it was okay the way it was done, or do you, like me, wish there was a bit more time given to it? Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you!